Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? Fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather leave than
It's the most wonderful time of the year, also called Eurovision. Sup, you Eurovision fool? It's Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. Welcome to Mattitude live from the press center here in beautiful Turin, Italy. This is the last show we have before the grand final, before we know the winner of the contest this year. And I cannot believe we actually have made it thus far. I am exhausted. I am stoked. I am just every emotion going on right now. But I cannot wait for the show to start. I know it'll be over in like that, and then we have to wait another year. But hey, at least we have a winner and can look forward to the next event come next year. But of course, we're not there yet. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about what's going to happen, our thoughts, impressions, and whatsoever. I am Matt, and I will be your sole host for this show as my team, Roy, Melanie, and Sean. Well, they were supposed to be in the Eurovision Village watching the show. Unfortunately, if you follow Roy on Twitter, you may have know by now that the Eurovision Village is full. They closed it down. No one can get in anymore. I don't remember the last time this happened or if that ever happened, but wow, that means my team did not get in. So they're looking for alternatives right now. That is very unfortunate, of course. But I'm sure there are plenty of parties and events elsewhere. I'm going to check with them and see what's going on. So I will just talk a little bit about Eurovision, of course, and what's going on. And this is a great opportunity for you to share your thoughts and your questions, as always, in the chat at ESC United. So make sure to tag me so I know that you are talking to moi. And we got a super. Thank you so much for your support, Matthew. No tie this year for the grand final. Ties in this day and age are unlikely. Is it possible? Yeah, but look at the amount of points that are available. So it is unlikely. If that were to happen, I mean, we have a tiebreaker rule. I'm trying to think. The last time we only we had a tie before. The last one was in 1991, right? If I'm not mistaken, with Carola winning the tiebreaker. And before that, was it 1969? Did we have any other ties before? And that was still with an older system. So I don't even know. Feels like a long time ago. Thank you so much, David H., also for your support. It is greatly appreciated. No question, but still, thank you very much. As always, if you want to support us, of course, you can do super chats if you want to, but it's not required. And you can become a member here as well to support us throughout the year. Or if you just want to not do this and you want to just send us money directly and not give YouTube a cut, you can do that through the link in our description box via PayPal. But you can also, what's really helpful is like this video, like it, and share it, and of course subscribe, because that way we can stay relevant in the algorithm, and comment. So every time you see a video from us, make sure to leave a comment, because again, the algorithm thinks, oh, people are interested in talking about this one. Let me put that a little bit more up there in the rankings. So thank you in advance. Oh, I meant you wearing a tie, Matthew saying. The last time I wore a tie was actually, I think, in 2018. I need to, I really liked dressing up for the national final, for the grand final, but I was virtually the only person doing so, and I almost felt out of place. But maybe I should do that next year, because it's fun, every now and then. But when you pack for 2 weeks of travel, you have to be strategic. And in the tie, you don't wear a whole lot, and like a nice shirt. So you have to come up with what you can or cannot wear. This time around, I didn't have many clothes that fit me, because then when I got sick, I gained a little bit of weight, which is going to come off as soon as Eurovision is done. That's my goal. Then that would be a different story. So, but yeah, let's talk about not my situation. Let's talk about Eurovision. So, which entry do you think will be helped the most by the running order? There are, and it's hard to say, of course, but my gut feeling was telling me certainly Moldova is in a really good spot here. Moldova one of the few upbeat songs in the second half, party songs, and surrounded by lots of slower, mellow melodies. This could really be the party anthem of the year and could go really high in the televote. I could see it in the top 5 of the televote, actually, if things work out for them. And I think the other ones, Poland has, I mean, yeah, Poland has a good running order, I think. You may say, okay, right after UK, but those are two very different things and songs, so I'm not too worried about it. And yeah, so I think that one comes to mind the most looking at it right now. So this is obviously, as you can imagine, the fullest the press center has been all the entire time. Let me see if I can give you a little bit of glimpse here. Crooked. See, you can still see empty seats here, of course, but at least over there, I think Eurovox over there, there's our favorite Weeby blogs, great guys and gals, and yeah. So I am so as you can see, I'm more at the end here because I want to have it a little bit quieter for the show because it is a little noisy in here now. So yep, that is what's happening. So at least there's going to be a lot more energy. There are plenty of flags, as you can see. I see a French flag, Norway, Spain, Ukraine, Greece, France, Belgium, yeah, and more Spain. Lots and lots of Spain, I guess. It's going to be nice in here, just having a little bit more atmosphere. Yesterday, if you watched the jury show, everyone, the entire press and those that are here, were going crazy during Moldova. That was probably the most fun moment. And of course, Spain. So we'll see what's going to happen today. Maybe I'll record a few snippets for that. Also, at the very end, once the show's over, if you have time and you want to talk to people, come back here because we have a post show. We'll be going to have a winner discussion, and I will be live. And Faith Thomas said, I woke up at 6 a.m. in California to watch the live stream at 10:36 a.m. What a trooper, and I'm really appreciative of that. As someone who lives in California, I know sometimes how difficult it can be. When I do my live streams, I have to be up on the weekend early, the day where I get to sleep in, not so much. So I hear you, I feel you. So thank you for sticking around. So, we'll talk a little bit about my prediction, your predictions, your thoughts, and what to expect from the show. And of course, answer questions. There are a lot of them in the chat, so I'm gonna pick some of them. Matt, do you know if Måneskin will perform their winning song? So they will not perform their winning song. They will perform their new music during the rehearsals. So don't expect that. They were not also in any of the rehearsals. So that's unfortunate as well. I really wanted to see them, but that did not happen. So at least we get to see them now for the first time. And that is the only new thing I'll get to experience, which is fun. Thank you again, Matthew. You've been such a trooper. I don't think I've had time where I would be happy for any of my top 8 to win. Crazy talent this year. This is one thing we also need to highlight. Talk about song quality, whether you think it's a good or a weak year. That is all objective, subjective. But we cannot deny the fact that this is one of the strongest years in terms of vocal talents, right? We have so many fantastic vocalists, and I haven't seen that happening in quite some time. This year in particular, which usually seems to be the other way around, but we have so many fantastic male vocalists. So the guys this year are just delivering. So it's just fun to experience that. So I agree with you on that, though. So I am very much impressed with the talent that we have. Again, you can have your opinions about the songs. I'm here to tell you what you're right or wrong. Although that's what you do in this online world now, right? I really hope that Sam Ryder brings it home for the UK. It would be crazy good for the UK if we win. We need it. Hope you enjoyed touring that. Eurovision fan. I don't know, bring it home is a proper term. I don't think that this is really something that you had in the first place, right? It's thinking with football, but I hear what you're saying. It would be nice because I'm rooting for the UK big time as well, of course. It doesn't mean I'm not rooting for anybody else either, but it's just wonderful to see, like, especially the fans from Spain and the UK being super excited and feel like we're in the mix this time around for a change. So enjoy it, and whatever happens, be proud because you have great songs with great performances, and all you can do is do your best, right? Although I know it's going to be a great night for you all. I have no doubt in my mind. Have we seen the kinetic sun move at all yet, Trekkie? So not much. We have seen it in the first semi, Diodato, and then mostly it just doesn't really stand out. They have moved it hardly. I'm trying to think if any of the interval acts this time around used it. And if they did, it was very subtle. Like, it doesn't even make a big difference the way they use it. So it's not really like a thing this year. They spent a lot of money on something that didn't really work or hasn't been utilized. Bummer. So, do you think Italy will be in the top 5? Somebody's asking. So I want to talk about that actually again. I talked about during the I had my goodbye dinner with the team, Sean, Roy, and Melanie, because I want to see them again before I leave, because I leave like early in the morning. We had a goodbye dinner. Of course, we had a little like, because we're all passionate about it. We love each other, of course. But, I was like, our prediction video got a lot of negative responses because, we had a few more outliers, if you will, and Italy was one of them. A lot of my team members really believe that Italy will be on the right side of the scoreboard. Now I'm like, poo. It's not going to happen. But I think I put it in 5th place in my prediction. I want to say I have to double check. I think it's going to do really well. I still have it put down as a winner, but Italy's going to do well. It's a beautiful song, and they finally, especially during the jury show, you've seen how they finally have the chemistry, the connection again that I was missing throughout the other rehearsals. So I'm very, very hopeful. Annie, thank you so much for the super chat that you helps us always out. What do you think about the rumor teetering Israel have been disqualified, so Romania got in instead? That's why they got the dead slot in the grand final. Nope, it's incorrect. The EBU already made a statement. They were not disqualified. They just didn't qualify. It's simple as that. These are just rumors that are not accurate. I think it was Easy Extra that reached out to the EBU and were able to get that confirmed that he has not been disqualified. So it's not correct. He just didn't qualify fair and square, and Romania qualified fair and square. And that is very happy. Very happy. That is very happy, and that just makes me happy. I'm losing my English. So yeah, that is, I can definitely put that to rest for everyone in here in the chat. I fully believe that Sweden will win tonight. I think she's getting first in the jury and second to third in the televote. Sina, I can absolutely see that. I actually think that Sweden could be like second or third with both groups and pull a Duncan Lawrence, because I have a feeling there will be a lot of disagreements between juries and televotes this year, and Sweden has these appeal to both groups, right? I'm not as sure it's going to be as high with the televoters as with the juries, but I think it could be enough. There is a case can be made about the UK as well here, right? So one of them, but I can absolutely see a universe where Sweden wins, absolutely. But it's tough. So I even have looked since the last time, since yesterday actually, my final look before the show at the betting odds. So why don't we do this together? And I know it doesn't tell the whole story, but it's always a fun thing to do because, we talk about it anyway, even if we don't really believe in it completely. But here we go. So as you can see, Ukraine now at 60% winning chance, which I think is way too high. I think they have a great shot at winning. But there's a chance that the juries may not go for it as much. People think that, I don't know if the juries are easily as prone to sympathy votes, as some people call it. So 6% seems a little much for me, but hey, we'll see. Sweden now number 2, passing the UK right now. That is an interesting push. I think Sweden is always a safe bet, but I would not count out the UK either. I can see the betting odds being fairly right here. Italy 4th, Spain 5th. Yeah, Serbia made up a lot of ground. Now in 6th place. Granted, if you see, it's still at 1%. So the top 5 are way ahead, and for the most part, at least, from the rest of the pack. So it looks like one of the top 5, if you believe the betting odds, will win. Anybody else would probably be more of a dark horse. Poland, Greece dropped a little, right? Then Norway and the Netherlands now in 10th. Moldova made a big jump to 11th. And then Finland snuck up there a little bit in the ranking to 12th place. So that's very interesting. So Germany last, Romania 24th, Switzerland 23rd. Now, this is not a proper ranking because it's only about, who do you think will win. That is not necessarily the most, best way to indicate that. Let's take a look at the top 10. According to who think there will be in the top 10? Ukraine, there's a 92% chance. Sweden, Italy, Spain, UK, Serbia, Netherlands, Greece, Moldova, and Poland. So, according to these odds, these are the most likely top 10 candidates. How do you, just pretend this is the ranking? I think that would not be the most outrageous outcome, right? Norway now out of the top 10, Australia, Portugal, Estonia, France, Finland, Armenia, and Germany last again. Poor Germany, last in everything. But it does mean that is what's going to happen. But it was just fun to look at this real quick. Thank you. While I was doing that, I got a super chat. Thank you so much, Sean Casey, for that. It's always highly appreciated. And let me bring that up here on screen. Happy Eurovision Day. Some friends and I guessing when the final credits will start. Central European summertime. The EBU schedule says 12:45. Want to make a guess. It's very interesting that you said that because I was going through the same thing earlier because I scheduled already the live stream for the winner reaction for us. And I'm like, I'm scheduling, I guess, for 12:45. But there's a good chance this will run over. So I start pushing it back as the results are coming in probably. In terms of how long, this is Italy, right? But I know they have to follow like EBU guidelines. They can't just go rogue completely. So I think they're going to add additional 15 minutes maybe. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. So we'll see. We'll see. Do you know if there is available live stream for the finals in America other than Peacock? Faith Thomas, I don't know if there's anything else. So for my family, they asked the same thing. I only know that on Eurovision.de, which is a German broadcaster, it's all available for playback, and they may have a live stream there as well, and it's not geo-blocked, which is nice. So that may work, but in terms of from American network, I cannot see anything else out there. So you probably have to go through a foreign broadcaster like Germany. Wasn't Iceland also one? But I don't remember all the other ones. So I would try that. WJFD broadcasts are broadcasting the show in the US. I don't know what WJFD is, Vaco. Is that like more on satellite dish? Because I certainly don't have that one. And one thing that Matthew mentioned as well in the chat, he uses a VPN to watch YouTube. That's what I usually do. I'm not sure how tech savvy you are, Faith, and know how to use VPN. Some people do, some don't. If you don't, then go for Eurovision.tv maybe or something like that. Otherwise, use a VPN. That would be my recommendation as well. So, as always, more questions at ESC United. And we'll talk for them. What do you think about Norway's song Crystal Sky is asking? I enjoy it tremendously. It's the most innovative song written. No, should it win Eurovision? Probably not, but it is just fun, and Subwoofer are just such a big part of this Eurovision experience. I'm not sure if you follow me on Twitter, but if you do, I posted a video earlier today. They interrupted me while I was recording a video, and it was one of my favorite moments because they just put their hand, Keith put his hands on my shoulders, and I thought it was just like Bernardo from Wee Wee Blocks, another friend from Simon from Denmark. I thought it was one of them. And I was like, well, what? And it was them just playing games with me. It was really, really funny. Granted, I had to start recording again. I'm going to start over. I'm like, really? But it was still a really cool moment. So, yeah, that is certainly a case. Are there any news on Turkey rejoining? Roberto is asking. So I believe I wasn't in the press conference, but I got the scoop, or like at least an update, a summary of it. This question was asked during the press conference with the EBU, and they just saying we continue to actively work on it. No, you know what? I think I saw that on the Reddit because Martin Osterdahl, the executive supervisor, did like a Reddit Q&A a couple of days ago, and that question came up. That's where I saw it. That's right. And he said it's something that we are actively pursuing, right? It looks like the EBU really wants Turkey back, but it seems that some progress has been made. But certainly we're not quite there yet. If they're going to be back or when, I don't know. I can't really tell you. But hopefully soon, because their music always added a lot of fun part to it. So we got a little bit over an hour to go until the live show, and I'm still looking around here. Yeah, I definitely probably will relocate for the show because everyone's blocking my view right now off the TV. I have a tiny TV to my side here, as you can see, right? So usually that would be fine. However, that thing is there's like a 1.5 delay. So with the sound, and it's super annoying. You're just like, I cannot watch this. It drives me nuts. So I got to watch it on the bigger monitors who are on the other side. Thank you so much, Alan, for the super chat. Need to say that it's very appreciated. Let me bring that up here. I paid to see an alt final of the eliminated acts. I like that idea, kind of more like the best of the rest kind of situation. But, who's going to organize that? But hey, I'm all for that. The more the merrier. That's how I look at it. Hi, Matt. What are your favorite moments from this Eurovision other than being video boomed by Subwoofer? Video boomed by Subwoofer. No, so honestly, I don't know. This was a very different Eurovision experience, which I will more share with once I'm back home, because I'm gotta marinate over it a little bit, because it was very different than anything else I've ever done. But I will say that just hanging out with my friends was the best thing. Of course, my team, Sean, Roy, and Melanie, and Gabe, and Stefania. It was just nice to seeing them all, and just having just some quality time with friends. But there are other people in the press and are hanging out as well. That to me was overall the best experience, I think. There was not a specific moment this year where I'm like, that was cool, that was nice. It's just I think it's more of a feel this time around to me more than anything. So yeah, but thank you for the question. And I did forget, we are also on Twitch. If you want to go over there and check us out, it's a little bit more of a quiet environment there, but I'm trying to make it a go because I'm a big gamer, to do more content on there. Let's see here. Center String is asking, can you remember a year where it's so hard to predict the outcome? He's they're asking. Honestly, I feel like every year it is difficult. In some cases, you can almost say it's easy because at this point, everyone believes Ukraine. It's for them to lose this thing rather than for anybody else. So everyone believes it is Ukraine. I'm not quite as convinced yet. It is a foregone conclusion. But I find it difficult to predict every single year. A lot of people are saying, well, Italy was the clear winner last year. I disagree with that, even though they ended up winning. It was a close win, right? Two juries could have gone a different way, and France would have won, that kind of situation. So I thought last year was pretty difficult to predict. And the year before, even with Duncan Lawrence, even though he was the favorite to win, he also just won because of the disagreement between the juries and the televote. It's always easier to say in hindsight, right? Like, well, yeah, but things could have gone very differently. Again, two juries could have been like something different, and yeah, we would have had a different winner. Mad, one of the best moments was when someone fell from a chair. Well, I'm sure it was very entertaining to a lot of people. My elbow would disagree, though. So, but thank you for bringing that up. Not that I'm traumatized from that experience that happened right on cam. The fortunate thing is, because Sean and Roy are so oblivious to all my pain situation here, there was this moment where I jumped back out of my chair because there was a freaking spider on my screen. I hate spiders with my life. I just started screaming and running away. And Roy and Sean were like, oh, where's Matt going? Okay, let's remove him from the cam. I'm like, you missed a great opportunity for a great video, my friends. But yeah, that one was another situation that did not get caught on camera because Sean and Roy were like, doop, doo, doo. Oh gosh, bless their hearts. Bless their hearts. So what do I expect? So I'm curious also to find out, but because I am a big fan of one of the Inneval acts, actually two of them, but especially the Mika one, because Mika's first album was like one of my favorite albums of all time and came out at a very unique time in my life that I connected with it so much. So he performed several of those songs tonight, and I just loved it. And then in combination with the Love and Peace, without making it too political, I thought it worked out. Some people may not like it, but I enjoyed it tremendously. So I cannot wait for you all to see it. And then, of course, the winner from 1964 performing. I'm a nostalgic nerd, I love all the old acts to return, and I'm so glad that Illy gave them the proper exposure here. I love that as well. So let's answer a few more questions. Oh, first of all, thank you, the Faustini, for gifting a 1-tier 1 sub on Twitch. Again, I somewhat get it now, but I'm still learning what that all means. But I truly appreciate it. Arvis486 is saying, "Hi, Matt. What would be your personal favorite winner this year?" This is a very tough question. I have a hard time picking a winner up front. I feel like they cement themselves like a month, 6 months after the fact. The song that I think of back most fondly, or I had the biggest impact. There are candidates right now. I could easily see France being that song because I just love that song so much. But I can see the UK making a case. Ukraine. There are several. Moldova is now in contention as well. I am just so into it. Very much so. So ask me again in a few months, and then we'll go from there. And I'm trying to think, with the lineup tonight, I'm wondering, because, what would be the biggest surprise today? If there could be something happening, like Sweden flopping would be a big one. There has been a lot of talk about Sweden not being as well liked by some of the casual viewers. But again, this is anecdotal evidence, right? Just some friends of people saying it, they didn't quite get it. That is not necessarily representative of the masses. So I always take this kind of talk with a grain of salt. I am looking at the list here. Could Sam Ryder actually win this all for the UK, or is getting the UK too hyped right now and it will not really deliver the hype wave that is being thrown at them? It's hard to say. I would be happy for the UK. I just was in the arena yesterday and I had this feeling. I'm like, this looks and feels so good because I can hear it in the arena, which most people watching, of course, are not, but watching it on the screen as well, I felt like this on paper has so much going for it. So who knows? John E. Kelleher is saying, what alternative location are the boys going to now that Eurovillage is closed? I don't know. They were talking earlier in the chat. Give me 1 second. I don't know where they're going. They just, I think they were still discussing it right now. Yeah, I don't have the most recent update on that. Sounds more like a their problem. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure there's a lot of back and forth there. They may just go back to the apartment. They may go hang out with others. I would think there may be more public viewings. There must be a bar or somewhere. I don't know. I'll be here watching it with my friends. Who do you think will pull out a Tamara Tedesca this year? In case those who don't know, Tamara was the representative for North Macedonia in 2019, and to a lot of people's surprise, won the jury vote, even though on the night she didn't because there were some issues, but ultimately she did. Who would be the shock jury favorite? You could make a case for Azerbaijan. You could make a case for Azerbaijan being the favorite. I could see that in the stars for them. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but you asked a question, so I will pick that one. Because vocally, it is just stunning. And his performance during the jury show was just out of this world. I mean, out of this world. And you can make a case, well, the song maybe not that good, but the juries have different criteria than maybe the average viewer. So you asked me the question, so that's who I'm putting forward. But I'm not going to put any money down on that. Vaco is saying, I don't know if you knew, but Monaco keeps some money for Eurovision in their budget for this year, 300,000 euros. Yes, I've heard about it, but I think similar talk happened before in the past. So I am not getting my hopes up at all. I will get excited when I see them on the list of participants, or they make an official statement, yes, we are back. Until then, I'm like, okay, sure, you let me know. You let me know. Because I don't trust it. I don't trust it. A question from Twitch by C4It17. What was your favorite year being in the press center and why? That is a good question. Let me travel back in time. 2015 had a great press center, Austria. That one was a lot of fun. I always think back fondly to Ukraine as well, Kiev. That was just an amazing experience. So I want to say between 2015 and 17, no, 2015, 16, and 17, those were like the golden years. That was pretty much an amazing experience. So yeah, it doesn't mean the others weren't good. I mean, Tel Aviv was fantastic as well. What I loved about Tel Aviv is that they learned from their mistakes. Like the first day, like this is not working. We came back the next day and it was fixed. The next, and then that day we're like, well, this is still not, that part's not working either. The next day it was fixed, and I really appreciated that about them, that they were like on it. So that was also a great experience. So I'm out of. I need to get something to drink before the show starts. So we have a few more minutes. Let's talk this through. I'm just so excited. It's just wonderful. Even though I don't get to talk to them right now, I see Alicia Michelle doing her live stream. I want to video bomb her now. Now she's wonderful, by the way. I have nothing but love and respect for everyone here, because I feel like, especially this year, since it's more a smaller group, we're much closer than before even. It feels just wonderful coming back, like having like your annual family reunion kind of thing. And it's just a wonderful feeling. Hey, Matt, will you record the results reaction from the press center? Love these videos. I'll try, but I'm alone now, so I cannot do everything. Previously, I had a team helping me out with that. So I will probably record my reaction video as I'm commenting on it, and maybe have the press center in the back. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can combine that. I don't know. Again, one-man operation, especially tonight, which is just hard, man. It's hard. How is the vibe in the press center? I would say mostly standard, relaxed, professional. It's not very. I don't feel like the party mode happening just yet, but that is okay, because everyone is doing their final prep work and putting their stuff together, and that's fine. That is fine. I think you can hear it's fairly muted. The sound, there's not like a lot of like screaming, but trust me, that will happen in due time. Also, I strategically positioned myself away from the crowds because I just needed a little bit more quiet to do this live stream, especially later on once the results are known. This will be pretty noisy. In addition, all the way in the back again, that's where the press conference room is. So I'm sure everyone's going to run in there and push people aside so they can be in the winter press conference. So that is also something that comes to mind. So will the backup videos in case of COVID be released after Eurovision? I'm looking for something to help me get over PED in a few hours, Sabrina. Well, in order to get over PED, make sure to stick around here in ESC United, because we are around all year long. But I get what you're saying. But there has been no announcement or intention, from what I'm understanding, to my understanding at least, to release those backup performances. Because unlike last year, there's less of a demand, and the COVID situation is very different. No act is missing. So I think maybe as a surprise they will, but yeah, nothing has been communicated by the EBU that this will be released, unfortunately, though that would have been nice. Yeah. Do you think the final duos is going to be between Sweden and Ukraine? Well, Sean believes so. Sean said a flag with yellow and blue colors will win Eurovision this year. And so he thinks it's between those countries. I can see the case being made for that. Hang on one second, y'all. Hi, yes. Yes. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. I got a little goodie bag here from booking.com. I got a water bottle in there. All right, I got a water bottle. And what else? A tag for my luggage. And what's in here? Is that a coaster? No, that's too small for a coaster. Ooh, it's a flash drive, I think. Ha! All right, there you go. That's my goodie for the day. Love it. Free stuff. So yeah, I forgot the point. Oh, we were talking about who. Yeah, it could be a battle between those two countries, but I'm not necessarily seeing it being the only two candidates. I think there are other contenders there out as well. And yes, we could get a 2019 where the jury winner comes 15th or so, or 13th with a televote, and then the televote winner comes like 15th with the juries. Then we have this weird setup, and then Netherlands comes up as ends up as the winner. Who knows? We could have a landslide. I feel like this year, as we mentioned earlier, if it's the most unpredictable, I think this is the year where we could have potentially a landslide winner all the way up to a tie. You know what I mean? This one is, to me, anything could happen here. Anything. And that kind of makes it fun, right? At least to me it does. But yeah, we got a few more minutes here. Can the Netherlands pull off a North Macedonia 2019? I think a case can be made for that. The thing is, this year, there's so many powerful ballots. One of them will be the beneficiary probably with most points, or maybe they split it. I don't see a runaway winner with the juries, which then gives maybe the televoters a little bit more power to decide on the winner. So yeah, because there are lots, as I point out, so many good vocalists with so many good songs. The juries could be really all over the place this time around. Yeah, I don't know. But it could also be the exact opposite. But I do think that I think the juries will be a little bit more closer than the televote. Do you think the British fans will be happy or disappointed after the results? Well, if they win, they will be all very happy, right? But if you say, it depends on where the UK ends up. Some people will be disappointed if he comes in second. You'll always have the doubters, right? It doesn't matter what the UK does. They'll always have some negative thing to say. So I do think that if the UK comes in top 5, I think the clear majority will be thrilled with that outcome. So I think we'll be fine. You always have voices of dissent, but you always cannot just listen to the negativity, but also the optimism. And holy smokes, Martin van der Weide, thank you so much for that very, very generous support there. Oh, wow. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And again, people keep asking, like, is it expensive to go to Eurovision? I mean, getting into the press center is technically free, right? But I live on the other side of the world. So to me, coming here, I mean, with accommodation, we're talking thousands of dollars, right? So all I'm trying is to break even in the end of the night. So I'm not going to lose much money. Thank you, Sina, sending a PayPal using the link in the description box where all the money comes straight to us. Thank you for your hard work this year. I believe Ukraine will not landslide win the televote. There's too many top televote performances for them to landslide. Spain, Moldova, Norway, UK, Sweden, and even Serbia. This is a very, very interesting question because I forgot the point I was trying to make. I can see we have never been in this situation before. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be very careful, right? Where we're in a situation where a country that's taking part is at war in Europe. I should rephrase that. There've been wars before, and we know what we're talking about, right? But it was a different situation there. The countries who were taking part, it was a lot less global. The world was a whole lot less global, and people didn't quite understand it, and the awareness wasn't there as it is in this day and age. So it is just a very unique situation we find ourselves in, I think, from that perspective. I do understand people forget that we had wars here before on the continent, and I don't have to go into the details. But I just think just with, how the world is now, it's a little bit different. And I understand we have never had that kind of impact. I hope that was a balloon. Impact at Eurovision. So yeah, but we'll see. Cornelia's inappropriate behavior has been topic in Finland. Is it been noticed anywhere else? And he's saying, so people, I just saw it on Twitter today. Here's the thing. And maybe call me old-fashioned. I personally didn't think it was inappropriate. I think she was just goofing around. I'm not a very sensitive person, like get upset over stuff. So I personally wasn't like too upset about it. It seems that it was very consensual, the goofing around with the host, and the host could have either said no. I shouldn't be referring to. So I personally didn't see it as a major issue. But I understand people around this day and age are a little bit more concerned about certain things. So I get it. And people make the comparison to Mikhail and David, but that was clearly a different story because that was actually a live broadcast and there were rules and da-da-da-da. So I personally didn't feel as Cornelia's behavior was that bad. I think she was just goofing around and maybe should have been a little bit more aware of how it may be being perceived by others. But I didn't notice any ill intent or selfish, self-absorbing kind of attitude. She was probably just very hyped. But I'm not defending her, like, if you guys think it was inappropriate. That's just how it came across to me. And mine is just one opinion. And I'm not here to tell you how you're supposed to feel about this situation. Because, I don't like when people do that to me either. Like, you should be angry. You should be ashamed. You have to come to that conclusion yourself. Thank you so much, Camila, for this support. Thank you so much for your great content this year. I'm pretty broke right now, then don't do it. But if Augment wins, I'm coming back with a bigger donation. Well, go Augment. Go now. Don't go bankrupt. Please don't. And as I pointed out, don't put yourself in financial strains. Like this video, all videos, always comment, not in the chat, but also in the description below in the comment section. That goes a long way all throughout the year. Help me out. Help our team out. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, thank you very much. East United, your tweet went viral. Oh, you're referring to my Israel one? Yes. I thought people, and that's the thing. I love tweeting, but sometimes I feel like when you go viral, you get also the nastiness that comes with it, and I don't like that. Because I was just not even that upset. I thought it pissed me off and was just rude by him. I think, come on, this is a proper show. There are 16 or 17 other artists, don't just throw yourself in there like that. In the end, it was inappropriate. It was meh. It's not the end of the world. But the problem was then I got all these very anti-Semitic responses to it. And that kind of was like, come on now. Come on. So that's why I don't like getting viral tweets. But, that's the World Wide Web for you. There's always something that people get upset about. But I'm just focusing on the good stuff, on the happy news. Alan MC on Twitch is asking, if Ukraine wins, where will it be held next year? And we get that question quite a bit, of course, and the answer is, I don't know. Nobody knows. What will happen? The rules of the EBU basically stipulates that if the winning country is unable to host, the EBU will then decide who is going to be the next year's host. So most likely you will get a bunch of bids from multiple countries thrown at them. I'm sure they get a lot of them. And then ultimately they will go with the one that they think is the most appropriate. My hunch or my theory is that, let's say UK comes second, right? And the UK puts forward a very suitable bid that the EBU is more inclined to give it to them. That would be my thinking. But that is just that's not based on evidence or anything, because we haven't been in that situation. The last time a host was unable to actually, the winner was able to host was in 1980. So a long time ago. A very long time ago. All right. So, more questions and maybe more answers. I'm just kind of absorbing everything that's going on. I can't believe it's the last day. I have such a horrible journey ahead of me going home. I'm regretting doing this, but it was all because of COVID. So I have to grab a taxi at 5 in the morning. When is Eurovision ending? Like at 1 in the morning? I'm going to be here for at least another hour. So I'm just going to run home, pack my last few things, and then grab a taxi at 5 a.m. so I can grab my bus at 6 a.m., which will then take me to Milan airport. and I'll get there at 8 a.m. so that I can take a COVID test, which is needed to return to the United States, then grab a flight at noon to New York, and I will spend the night there so I can fly the next morning to California. This is what I'm doing. Oh, I will not do that again next year. I will just spend more money, I guess, because I try to be, save money because, this is an expensive venture. And, but, oh gosh, I'm not looking forward to that. Oh, thank you again for another support here. Let me click on this. Martin saying, Sean bursting in tears yesterday during UK's performance. The jury performance is my favorite moment of this year. What's your favorite moment? So yeah, that was a nice moment. I think it's possible that my favorite moment is yet to come. If an unexpected country like Spain or UK wins, it would be just a wonderful moment, this return. I haven't probably felt like that since the day when Portugal won out of nowhere in 2017. Both Sean and I virtually collapsed, and it was just a beautiful moment, and that could potentially be something like that. If somebody else wins, that is a little bit more, familiar or comfortable with winning or doing well, I'd still be happy, of course, and I will celebrate it, and I look forward to visiting that country. But it's just there's something about, the underdog, the one that has been doing so poorly, and it's, I think, human nature to root for them a little bit more. But I would never, ever root against someone. It's just not in my nature. What do you think Germany's broadcaster will do if Germany finishes last and all other Big Five are thriving? I want to say they'll learn the lesson and reevaluate what they're doing, but we've been saying that for years, so I'm not even that confident that they will. But I do think that they indicated after the whole national final fiasco that they will reevaluate things. And if they do badly this year, which there is a good indicator that they will, I'm sure they're going to rethink what they're doing and come up with a better way to do a national final, because it's letting basically broadcast radio stations decide who's in the national final. Really, really bad decision. So I think hopefully they'll learn their lessons. But again, I feel like I've seen that movie before, and I don't want to see it again. I don't. All right. I don't know if you've seen it, Matt, but Quincy Jones is appealing the vote for Maro. Mind-blowing. What? What? No, I have not. He's saying vote for Maro? Really? Quincy Jones. I barely know him, and I am terribly sorry when I say this. I didn't know he was still alive. But that's good. How old is he then? He must be 90? 89. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. So he really likes that song, I guess, huh? Always learning. Quincy Jones, by the way, people asking, I don't know, he's like a famous composer, record producer, and musician, songwriter, all of that stuff. So he's American, and he songs from the 60s, often 70s and 80s. I think he worked closely with Michael Jackson at some point in his earlier career, or his big career. So he's a big name, and I know of him, but I'm not an expert either. So yeah. Matt, sorry, but stop whining. I am whining? I'm not whining. Why are you saying I'm whining? Oh. All right. Let's get right into more questions at ESC United. Was the whole experience a bit less tiring this year, considering you skipped the first round of rehearsals? No. If anything, it was more tiring. This is probably the most difficult Eurovision yet, because it's just me in the press center. I had to do everything. And it would have been easier for us to be actually in the press center watching it all than being in our Airbnb trying to put the pieces together and what's going on. It's probably it's here to stay. But yeah, it was definitely the most difficult Eurovision yet for me, for sure. Absolutely, not even close. So crazy how Lorraine won exactly 10 years ago barefoot, and Cornelia is also barefoot. And when Italy hosted Eurovision last time, Sweden won. Would be an amazing full circle moment. It's true, but there's, who knows? Who knows? I don't want to get carried away with all these theories and all of that stuff, but it would be nice. So, if they do the whole TikTok thing again next year, will you travel to the host city a week later? I don't know. Keep in mind, I already traveled here later because usually I would show up here like on a Thursday or Friday. And this time I didn't even show up until that Monday. I changed my flight and it was just the right thing to do because I'm like, why would I be here? Even though I missed a couple of days of rehearsals, the information, I mean, whatever. But I probably would. Why would I spend all that money? Something that I cannot report on. Money doesn't grow on trees, I've learned. I tried. It's not working. It's not working. Do you think any countries will end on 0 this year? All right. I am hopeful and fairly confident. No, I don't think that any of the semifinalists will get 0. They've already proven there is some support there. The big question mark is, can Germany escape the televote and jury 0-pointers? I think that Germany will get at least a few points from the juries. There is a potential of a 0-pointer from the televotes. Overall, I'm somewhat more optimistic that Germany will escape that fate. But it's also not easy to get 0 points from both groups. Yes, it happened to the UK for the first time last year, but that's also the first and only time so far. So you have to be really unfortunate not getting any points. And hopefully that won't be happening this year either. Even whoever finishes in last, give them at least a few points. Just a few points. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah, I mean, the reason why Germany comes up all the time only because it's the only song from the Big Five that has very little to no hype, and it never had to prove itself in a semi, right? So, of course, and we haven't had a non-finalist, direct finalist last place since 2013. And back then, the voting was very different and how they averaged it out and all of that stuff. So yeah, that can even really be used in this day and age to compare. Alan MC17 on Twitch is saying, steps are now being taken to remove Russia from future contests, EBU boss says. Yes, I heard about that as well, that the EBU is considering, certainly suspending Russia for the time being from the EBU. And that means I don't expect Russia in the contest in the near future, bar any major positive developments over the next year or so. But with the way things are going, I don't think any one of us would expect that. Do you think the final results would have been different if pre-recorded back vocals wasn't allowed? The final results would have been different. The final results of the semis or last year's? Here's the thing. This backtrack thing, which if you watched me these past year or two, I hated with the burning passion of 9 Sons, because now I can no longer defend this whole, it's a karaoke contest. I'm like, well, it hasn't got a little bit more karaoke now. I don't know how much this I don't think it impacts the televote as much, but I could see juries saying, well, this person's being drowned by those backtracks and maybe turned off by that. I could see some jurors maybe feeling that way, but there's no evidence. I cannot really prove any of that. I hated a whole lot, especially with this whole, it's just cheaper for the delegations and COVID and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, so you can bring up backtracks, but you can bring 5 dancers with you. So I'm like, yeah, you're not cutting down on costs or anything else. I'm like, I'm not falling for it. Not falling for it. I'm not buying it. And yeah, live vocals are much better in most cases. And I will use Malta as an example. I think Malta would have really elevated song if that backup track, the choir, would have been live. And I said it, like what the Mamas did for John Lundvik. It really elevated the song, made it really more grand. And I think that kind of stuff, they need to think that more through. And yeah, I feel very strongly about this this recording thing. It really took a big hit. I hate it. But hey, I'm just only one person. Some people defend it, and it's okay. You're wrong. Kidding. If Ukraine wins, any idea what could be the host country? Any preference? So we talked about just a few minutes ago, Valentino, the BBC. Was that a Freudian slip net? No. The EBU will decide. I think they will try to give it to the second country, maybe find a justification. Or they just my guess is they'll pick a big five, a country that hasn't hosted in a long time. But your guess is as good as mine. They'll get all these bids in, and then we'll find out eventually. It makes it very difficult to plan ahead. If we're like, could be anywhere in Europe. Like, okay, not helpful. I've never felt this nervous for my country, Sweden, in a long time. The voting will be nerve-wracking. Really? Out of all kinds of things you guys would be like so used to, you're always so good at this. 2019, you were the last ones on the screen. 2015, you won. 2012, but I get it. Every year is like a fresh new start, right? You're kind of like, okay, it's happening again, and I get it. I absolutely get it. It's always nerve-wracking, especially when you feel like you're still within reach of winning it, right? So I wish you the best of luck. My fingers, toes, and eyes are crossed. And if it's Sweden again, at least leave it in Gothenburg, because I want to see a different place. I've been to Sweden now so many times. I've been to Malmö, I've been to Stockholm. Send it to Gothenburg then, please. That's my only request. Or a city that I haven't been to. Just something else. But not Malmö. I want to go. What do you think of the Spotify predictions? 1, Italy, 2, Sweden, 3, Netherlands. These are the most streamed countries. So streaming, I don't know if that is always the best way, because let's be real, Italians are very passionate about their entry, and it's a big country. So a lot of streams are coming from Italy. I would think the big chunk of it, and they cannot vote for their own country. So yeah, I would be a little bit hesitant to go by that. That doesn't mean it could be somewhat of an indicator. You could look at the YouTube views of all the videos and maybe take some kind of idea from it. But you also need to remember, not everyone uses Spotify. Certain generations, they're not as into it. Same for YouTube. So I always take these things a little bit with a grain of salt. But I understand why someone would look at it as well, because, who knows? You want to get the answers, right? You want to know a little bit more. And I wish I could know more, but we'll know in a few hours. As a reminder, in case you're brand new to this whole Eurovision experience thing, at the end of the grand final, just a few minutes after, the full voting, the entire breakup between juries and televoters will be posted on Eurovision.tv. I will also review it right away, and then we'll talk about it. So I will not be sleeping tonight. I maybe grab some sleep on the bus to Milan, but that's about it. So here we go. What have you learned about yourself in this journey? Faith, this is a very interesting and tough question. And how am I going to phrase this? I can't go into all the details yet, because I could get myself in trouble. But let's just say, I think I'm more sensitive than I thought I was. I learned that I need to sometimes just let go and understand that certain things are out of your control, and that there's nothing you can do about it. You can do everything right. You can follow all the rules, and it's still not it's still not working right. I can't think of the right word right now. So I learned that sometimes certain things are just out of your control, and that you just need to do your best and follow your morals and your standards. And that is, I think, what I learned the most. It's a very good question, and gets a little deep for this light-hearted video, but I appreciate you asking that. Could France and Portugal still make the top 10, considering insane producers placed them so early? France, I could see, yes. I'm a little bit more worried about Portugal, but France, I could see a case being made, getting like a 10th or 9th place squeezed in. But again, you never know, right? You just never know. So I'm not just counting out anything. So let me switch over here. Clicking the wrong windows. Okay, we're good to go on Twitch. I want to make sure that those people don't feel neglected, because you're also important to me. How does it feel to be finally at the end of this Eurovision? that felt like a long journey, right? It is a long journey. Unfortunately, it's not over yet, because my journey doesn't end until I walk through my the door of my home and just give my cats a big hug. And but it has been the most exhausting one yet. And yes, I won't get to sleep for 24 hours. We'll see. We'll see. Not for a while. Let's put it that way. And I I'm getting. I just need to stay focused, one step at a time. Graham, thank you so much for your super chat. It's no question with it, but just know that is really, really appreciated. Let's move on here. As always, at ES United questions. If I miss it, just let me know. I'm pretty sure not the jury winner nor the televote winner will be the overall winner in the end. Pointless nostalgic is saying. I think I made a similar case. I feel like this is another year where we can have this major, like a 2019 repeat. And that is the best case I can also make for the likes of UK and Sweden winning this. Because I could see both the UK or Sweden be like top 2 to 4 with juries and televotes. And then based on the disagreements with the favorites, could then work its way to the top. And yeah, that could happen. That makes it so unpredictable and so exciting. That's why we love Eurovision. Why we love Eurovision. That people also say, oh, yep, it's getting busy in here. I'm going to move my chair a little bit. But we're going to talk for a little bit longer, because that's what we do every single time. I really appreciate you all sticking around for these few weeks. And keep in mind, Eurovision does not end tonight. Eurovision 2022 ends tonight, but the 23 season starts first thing in the morning, and we will be around all year, and we'll help you with your PED, and just enjoy this as much as possible. I got lots of content. We have lots of content planned, so stick around for that. Oops, there's another chat de super, and let me bring it up. If I knew how to push the button. Here we go. If the UK wins, I will be going out on the town. It's going to be late. Oh, no, the good thing is you guys are an hour behind, right? So you got an extra hour to go. I think you will probably do more than that. It would be wonderful, because I remember in 2010, even though I'm American, I'm German-American growing up in Germany. I said, if in my lifetime, I said in 2009, I remember, if Germany wins in my lifetime, it felt like it's never going to happen, I have no other choice. I have to see it in person. I have to go to Eurovision at least once. Sure enough, they won in 2010. And then all these years later, look at me doing this crazy stuff. So it's very interesting. Yeah. But, that's kind of how things work. Hey, Matt, what do you do for a living? Curious to know what's your job in the daily life. What, are you saying this is not my daily job? That's all I do all year. I wish. Now, I work in, it's going to be super boring, but that's just, I work in insurance. But I work more, not like salesman, but more like on the tech side, right? IT-ish, for the lack of a better word, risk management. So that's what I do. 9 to 5 kind of job. I've loved watching you. You have made my experience wonderful. Thank you, Katie. It's not over yet. Don't talk like it's over, because I'll be back after the show as well, right? It's not done. How serious is the threat of North Macedonia withdrawing from the contest in the future? Carla is asking. So about North Macedonia, I know they were threatening to withdraw. This whole dilemma about this whole flag throwing thing. I think they felt a little bit embarrassed, humiliated. They're like, we don't want to be part of this, and they never qualify. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about North Macedonia, but I think if North Macedonia were to withdraw, it would only be like a temporary thing, kind of like what Bulgaria did or Croatia did, Cyprus did, and then they will come back better than ever. Then maybe they just take a year off and then reinvent themselves and then really just rock this contest. So if it were to happen, I don't think this country would be gone for good, for sure. Thank you, Daniel A, also for the super chat and that cute little sticker that using my software here, it's always a little weird to bring it up. Let's see here. Where are you? Okay, it's not even showing up because of the sticker. But just know I saw it, and I'm very appreciative of that. What do you think about the Italian hosts? Any preference between Alessandro, Laura, and Mika? A lot of people just don't like them. I mean, keep in mind, the hosts are just such a minor thing to me. I find them all charming in their own little way. I have no problems with any of them. I will say I love Alessandro. Alessandro's just a natural. He knows how to deal with the pressure. He is there all for every single rehearsal, never has to stand in, basically, and has done so well, and such a professional. And he's funny, and he's laid back. He's a cool dude. I really, really like him. But I like Mika and Laura too. I just like people, and Laura just cracks me up. She's always very random, right? And I just enjoy it. I always gravitate towards big personalities, right? And they certainly all have very interesting personalities, unique ones as well. So I'm all excited about that. Do you think that the stage fiasco actually made a significant difference in the end? We'll never know. It's hard to say, right? You cannot measure something that never happened. I do think it made a difference for some delegations, but we'll also never know if they would have done better, if they would have been able to put their entire vision on the stage, right? So it's one of those questions you cannot answer because you cannot look into an alternate universe. So that's unfortunate. If you could choose winning country, only thinking about the next year, host city, country, who would you want to visit? So here's the thing. If it's purely just based on who I want to visit, not taking the song into consideration or how expensive that location is, because I had a priority list. There's so many places I want to see, but I think, well, it can't be Croatia now because they're in the semis. So it would have to be Serbia because I really want to visit the Balkan areas. So Serbia would be perfect for me. I also am dying to see Iceland. So I want to make that tour, the ring tour for Iceland, right? I love that thought. And so that way I could do that. So those were two that come to mind. But there's so many places I want to see. So, yeah. But you asked me that, so I got to give you a decent answer. So we got, 23 minutes. We're just going to do a few more minutes about this chit-chat. I just want to make sure that I want to soak this in because this will be over in no time. Let me see if I can show you another view of the press center. It has filled up even more. Ta-da! Again, all the way in the back, that's the press room. And that is where everyone's going to run to when the winner is known for the press conference. So this is the busiest the press center has been. But you still see there's still plenty of empty desks here. I kind of was rude and took like 3. But those stations are really small, right? And I feel like they're not social distanced enough. And I don't like that. So I feel like I want to keep a little bit of space in between. Okay, so thank you for the super chat here, Nibena. Serbia, hard. Yes, much love to you. And I think one of the strongest messages this year, and clearly, even though not everyone quite gets all the lyrics, I think people gravitate towards it. I talked to my sister in Germany who watched the semi, and she's like, I thought the song was kind of weird, but I just loved it. Like when the clapping comes in, I just want to clap along. I want to see that again in the finals. So that's why she voted for it, apparently. So you got definitely votes from Germany. I mean, I'm not sure you got points from Germany, but you got votes. At least 2 probably from my sister. Whatever happens tonight, I'm going to be crying. I'm so proud of our Sam. You should be, Carl. Even if he gets only 1 point, number 1, it would be improvement, right? And number 2, this is sometimes people have really good ambassadors to Eurovision who really respect the contest, the value of it, the fan, and the environment. And Sam Ryder is perfect for it. There are other artists like that in the running here this year, but Sam is just a prime example of the UK coming back. Like Sam, man, he really did his best. And whether he wins or comes last, we should be proud and excited. And I'm not just saying to be all like corny and schmaltzy, but it truly is that way. And I'm really excited about it. Valentino saying, Matt, did you watch the American Song Contest? Only the first 2 episodes, and then I ran out of time. I tried to keep up with it, but everything's happening at the same time with Eurovision, and then I was, gone for like a week or two, and then I missed it all. So I will watch everything when I get home. It gives me something to do. Thanks for all your hard work, Matt. Rob Duff is saying, thank you so much for that super chat again. I'm pushing wrong buttons here again. So once again, as a reminder, I will be back after the show, right? As soon as we have a winner, find me right here. The link is already up. I don't know. I'm going to have to push it back for a few minutes because, the show tends to run over a little bit. And we'll go with that. Who watches your cat while you're gone? Oh, my cat can watch themselves. They're like, for 2 weeks, we're good. We'll go to the store, where the pet store is. No, of course, my fiance is still at home and watching the pets. So there is someone there to give him company. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I would never leave them alone like that. It was such a scary time anyway. I think I said on social media, I don't remember, my boy cat got so sick a month ago or so. I thought he was going to die. He's older, so he's 14 years old, so it could happen. And I thought he was going to die in my arms that moment. I took him to the vet, took him to the emergency room, and I was able to get him back to health. And I was so happy that I have more time with him. Oh, that was hard. I wasn't ready to let go. You're never ready to let go of your pet, right? But I was especially not ready at that moment. Oh, I was a mess. I don't even think about that. But yeah, love my cats. I got my cats when I was actually, I don't want to go into too much detail because it's, it gives me so hard time. I was like talking about some cancer stuff that I was dealing with in 2007. I got the cats there when I thought I wasn't going to make it. Just so you know, my mom died when I was 8 years old, I think, from cancer. My dad died when I was really young as well. I mean, I was in my 20s, and all from cancer. And my stepmom died as well of cancer, age of 50, I think. So when I got it, I was like, it's my turn, So I was like, oh, I'm not going to make it to 30. And so I got the cats, and, there's like this connection there when you have, like, they kind of help you for this difficult time. So I really, really love them. Oh, I love them so much. It hurts. But anyways, let's talk more Eurovision. Hi, Matt. Do you have usually post-Eurovision depression after the season? If yes, how do you deal with it? You know what, Christoph? You know what? I'm pretty good with that, actually. I don't really have a whole lot of PD because when it's done, I get a few days just to relax, right? And I still get to do. And when you do Eurovision all year long on a website, you have so much stuff to do. It never ends. It never ends. So it's pretty easy for me just to throw yourself into work and just enjoy a little bit less Eurovision, but still do stuff all the time. So it's just very interesting. So I don't really have a whole lot of issues with that. So, yep. Now we are 17 minutes away from the big show. Who do you think is the biggest disagreement between jury and televote? I think Moldova. You could make a case, although I could also see Moldova doing a similar thing what they did in 2017, not going all the way to the top, but get more points than you anticipate because there is some music. There's a lot of musicality to the song, especially the instrumental part. I think juries may appreciate that. You could make a case for Norway. Norway could be a big, big discrepancy. Other than that, I don't know. Serbia could potentially fall into that category where the juries don't get it and the televoters do. I don't know. I know it's so hard. Ask me after the show and I'll give you a really good answer. Will you release a video with your picks between 21 entries and 2002 entries? Picks between 21 and what do you mean? Like, oh, I did that video already, like 21 to 222. I did that video already like a month or two ago. Like once all Eurovision songs were known, I posted that. And so feel free to check that one out as well. It's on my YouTube channel. Okay, so we only have a few minutes, so I want everyone to get ready for the show. And once again, make sure to subscribe to the channel so when I'm live, you get notified right away. And of course, more videos to come. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you see the link up there as well. I will be back as soon as the winner is known. Enjoy the show. I know it's a once-in-a-year experience, and I wish you all the best, all good luck. And just remember, it's a competition, but it's also a celebration, and there can only be one winner, and 25 other countries, no, 24 this year, will not win, but they should still be excited about what's going on with great music. And whoever wins, you have my support and my love, and I cannot visit your silly country. It's not silly, but I want to look forward anyway. So let's do some, I know, corny, schmaltzy, the schmaltz police is here, but let's all just, enjoy the show, and I'll be back after this. So fingers and toes crossed, okay? Bye. Get your drinks ready.